I came across a letter on the blog addressed to the class of 2017. Knowing full well that it was going to make me emotional and distract me from my task at hand, I decided that my college essay didn't really need my attention at the moment, and it wouldn't take long. About 20 minutes later, I found myself staring at my computer screen, mistaken. Thanks to the hypnotizing power of the internet, I had clicked on a few recommended links and had ended up reading about 7 more letters of the same sort. A letter to the rising senior class, how to make this year the best one yet, make memories that will last forever, you get the idea. As I read these articles, the same bits of advice were repeated throughout. Reminders to go to every single sporting event and to never miss a social outing. They told me to do as many extracurriculars as possible and go all out for every spirit day, because soon enough, I won't have the chance. The phrase, enjoy every moment, was drilled into my brain. According to the letters, these are the ways to make senior year worthwhile. For those of us on this stage, this is the beginning of many lasts. A few days ago was our last first day of high school, today is our last convocation ceremony, and we are approaching our last class trips. With the way everyone talks about senior year, there's a tremendous pressure to make every last, because it will all be over in the blink of an eye. I'm usually an optimist, but I've been hit with a dose of reality as I've been thinking about this year. There's no possible way to go to every school event, and you can't possibly enjoy every single moment. These concepts are unrealistic, and they can make you feel like you're failing if you don't fulfill every expectation that is supposed to make your year amazing. I appreciate the sentiments behind these goals, but when it comes down to it, not every moment is enjoyable. This year isn't going to be all good times. There are going to be plenty of stressful and sad and complicated and difficult moments as well, and it's important to not overlook these. Seniors, instead of telling yourself to enjoy every moment, I challenge you to experience every moment. By fully experiencing the bad ones as well as the good ones, you will be rewarded with growth. Now, I'm not saying you should smile and cheer every time you have to write another college supplement, but as you're going through the hard things, remember that they are just as important as the countless fun memories you're going to make this year. No matter what grade you are in, with every challenging time you face, use it to get closer to your classmates. The size of the Green Hills community gives us the opportunity to get to really know the people around us, so do not take that for granted. If there's a student in your grade who you don't know very well, ask them how their day is going. Choose someone you rarely talk to be your partner for that group project, and hold on to the friends you already have. We're all going through similar things, so be a support system for one another. Talk to each other, listen to each other, and learn from each other. Whether you're a senior sitting on the stage right now, or you're going to be one someday, remember that your high school years shouldn't be about fulfilling requirements. A letter that I would have rather seen on the blog I read that night would tell me that there's no formula you can follow to have the perfect moment, or the perfect day, or the perfect year. What's important is to experience every moment as it comes to you, the good and the bad, because you don't get to decide what gets thrown your way. Life decides that on its own. Use these moments to realize that it's about the people you're with and what you can learn from the ups and downs that can make any year worthwhile.
It goes without saying that academia is a very important part of any school, but at Green Hills, and especially for the class of 2017, the level of excellence in every academic subject available far surpasses those of any other school I know. So essentially, Green Hills is the Beyonce of all schools. But in all seriousness, Green Hills, for me and the rest of the class of 2017, has always encouraged academic curiosity and given us the opportunity to find the things we are truly passionate about. And for that, we are truly thankful. There is no way we'd be up here if it weren't for the Green Hills community pushing us to strive to be our best. I've heard the class of 2017 be described by others as extremely studious, very dedicated, and sometimes teased as too hardworking for a group of high schoolers. I am here to tell you that all these things are true, and it's definitely not a bad thing. I've watched in awe as people have done extraordinarily well on their ACTs and their SATs, taken the most challenging classes available, maintained sky-high GPAs, and always exceeded everyone's expectations. But for our grade, academics is not just about these numbers. We learn because we're actually interested in the material, not just because we want to get a good grade on the next test. And sure, we might have a bit of a competitive side, but that doesn't mean we aren't constantly helping each other. You can go down to our forum at any time, and I guarantee that you will see at least one group working together on their homework, or someone trying to explain a tough concept to someone else. Any friendly competition we do have only pushes our grade to be better, smarter, and stronger. making us academically one of the strongest classes Green Hills has ever seen. And I have full confidence that every single person in this class is well prepared to take on whatever they choose to do after they graduate. Now, it seems foolish to talk about academics without mentioning the great teachers here at Green Hills, but sometimes I feel like people don't realize just how amazing they are. They're engaging, encouraging, intelligent, they're passionate about their subject areas, they're always there to help with any problem, no matter how small. Since the 6th grade, I've always felt supported in what I've wanted to pursue by my teachers, and I've heard many of my classmates express the same thing. The teachers we've had have really changed our lives, and I'm not trying to be cheesy, and have encouraged us to expand our interests inside and outside the classroom. It was at this point during the 2010 Convocation that 6th grade me probably fell asleep. So everyone in the back, wake up. I see you yawning, so I'm almost done. After being at the school for 7 years, it's kind of hard to imagine what life will be like after we've all moved on from here, hopefully on to even better and more interesting things. While 6th grade was all about our firsts, now everything is all about our lasts. This past Tuesday was our last first day of school, and in May, which is a lot closer than it sounds, it'll be our last day of high school ever. So from us old folks, here's a bit of advice. Take advantage of everything Green Hills has to offer. Take the challenging classes you're interested in, even if you aren't sure you might get an A in it. Never be afraid to ask for help. Keep going until you've deconstructed confusing theories and tricky formulas down to a bare bones. Engage with your classmates in discussion because you'll never know when you learn something interesting. With a community with such brilliant teachers and supportive classmates, don't be afraid to take risks because Green Hills will always be there with a safety net. And last, but certainly not least, as Beyonce always says, always remember to dream it, work hard, and grind till you own it. Thank you.
Green Hills offers a truly unique athletic experience, and this class has been exemplary in taking advantage of all that it has to offer. The accolades are important to note. This grade has been relentless in its pursuit of athletic excellence. I want to acknowledge that on this stage are school record holders, all-conference selections, and state champions. But on top of that, I want to recognize the achievements evident on this stage that may not receive the same amount of attention. Friendships formed at practices and events. Health benefits of daily exercise. Time management skills learned on bus rides. Love of competition and a commitment to sportsmanship, built through wins, losses, and personal goals. Respect for coaches, teammates, opponents, and officials. Beyond the lessons inherent in athletics are those taught by mentorship in this tight-knit Green Hills athletic community. Those of us on this stage have sat in your seats. We were once 6th graders looking to the 8th graders for advice on how to be better tennis players, how to get to the bus on time, and if we should wash our gym clothes at some point during the year. You should. As middle school wound down, we looked to the high schoolers who practiced after us, and in their play, we saw both how far we had to go and how far hard work would take us. As underclassmen, yes, we carried equipment, but we also drew passion, dedication, and knowledge from the older players. Regardless of where you are on your Green Hills athletic journey, you have people to look up to and people who are looking up to you. As you look at this class in front of you, I urge you to follow their lead in finding a reason to participate in athletics and devoting yourself to all the ways it can help you and the experience you have at this school. Join a team, cheer one on. Be an example for other students and be open to learning from them. Class of 2017, I know you'll do just that. Thank you for being extraordinary people, athletes, and role models. Thank you.
This summer, I spent a lot of time in front of my computer writing. Writing college applications is a process of writing about the things that make you special and the things that you are passionate about. When it came to writing about what I was passionate about, the first thing that came to my mind was service. I wrote about an experience I had on the Detroit spring break trip that changed the way I look at the world and specifically my future. Spending time in Detroit with people who made service their lives inspired me and opened so many new doors for me. Although we don't wake up every day here at Green Hills for service, like the people making waves in Detroit. Service is not just something we do here at Green Hills. It's part of who we are. We support service because it's such an important part of a well-rounded education, especially in such a privileged community like ours. Service is embedded in our school lives through dozens of groups, days, and activities. Green Hills is making a point in serving the community not just to give back, as we should, but to instill in each and every one of us its value. As we all move out of school here, and college too, and then into our jobs and lives, we remember the value of volunteering our time because we took days here to commit to service. Green Hills produces successful and busy individuals, and works tirelessly to foster the kind of adults who, no matter how busy, will always take the time to give back. Plant a tree, tutor a kid, give blood, create a day for disabled children, bring groups of people to places all over the community, or even make a career out of service. Because service is not just something that gets in the way of a busy schedule. Instead, it inspires and invigorates a passion for issues in our communities. To my class of 2017, as we take our places of leaders of the school, I hope we can embrace our leadership roles in service too. We've gotten our hands deep in tutoring the blood drive and T-well each year. But I hope all of us can dig deep into our service requirements, go beyond expectations, and wholeheartedly participate as leaders in school events. To the rest of the school, you aren't seniors now, but before you know it, you will be. And it will be your job to continue the legacy of service as leaders and role models to younger students here at Green Hills. Service allows each and every one of us to ground ourselves, understand what it is to be a member of a community, be thankful for what we have, and bring our lives into perspective. There's a reason that it's the first thing I thought of when I sat down to write my common application. Service is the thing that has made me who I am today. It might not be the same for everyone, but it certainly changes each and every one of us to become better people, students, and friends. This year, let's work to embrace the way that Green Hills has worked to set us up for success later in our lives. Let's take some time to reflect on the impact our small community service program has made on our lives, and then take that energy to somewhere where help is needed, to make an impact on our greater community the way that our Green Hills community has made an impact on us. Thank you.
I would be willing to bet that the most common phrase that has been spoken to me from the time that I visited Green Hills when I was a 5th grader to the day I entered my senior year this past Tuesday is, "Oh, you're the choir teacher's daughter." While I preferred and still prefer to have my own identity as Tema Cohen, an average Green Hills student, the choir teacher's daughter title has always made me feel as if my roots lay within Green Hills, more specifically, the arts department. Growing up, I came to every single musical and play, and often sat in the pit with my dad, looking up and marveling at the talent that was Green Hills students. I thought to myself, I'll never be like them, I'll never be old enough. And to tell you the truth, I still feel that way after performing many times up on this stage. There are countless opportunities in the arts department here at Green Hills. From jazz band to ceramics, orchestra to art photo, choir, painting, art, drawing, tech theater, sketch writing, even intro to art, the art classes at our school alone offer a creative outlet for everyone. So whether you're a shy shower singer or homework doodler, or someone who feels as if they belong in front of an audience with a microphone, there is some part of the arts in which you can thrive. As arts programs are getting cut right and left from schools all around us, we are lucky enough to have programs that are so strong, so we might as well take advantage of them. Art is a universal language, and is one that we can all be engrossed in, no matter what your subject or level of expertise. That being said, in order to achieve the artistic community that we strive for, we must congregate as a team, much like sports. Theater, for example, does not only take performers, but it takes a crew of techies, a stage manager, set designers, and most importantly, an audience. So, even if you do not wish to belt out show tunes on the stage, you can still support our artistic community by cheering on those who do. Just like a soccer or basketball player, we artists step up our game when we are supported by our fans. The class of 2017 is the perfect example of the variety of skills that are needed to build an artistic community. On the stage, we have painters, photographers, actors, singers, dancers, and so much more. This past week, I asked my grade to complete a survey reflecting on how they have participated in the arts here at school. The results vary from being performers to taking a show, having their art on display, to being the lead dancer in the great walk-off. It made me incredibly happy to learn that 97% of the takers of the survey have participated in the arts one way or another. Looking at my fellow seniors, I could not imagine a more driven and inclusive group of people, both willing and eager to share their talents and knowledge with the rest of you, hopefully inspiring you to excel just like them. If you have any questions about the arts and want to approach any of us, we would be more than happy to answer. We don't bite. Although I am, indeed, the choir teacher's daughter, it is truly the arts community here at Green Hills that has made me come into my own and accept my identity as an artist, regardless of who my parents may be. Whether it's your last or sixth to last year at Green Hills, I strongly encourage you to try to seek out all parts of yourself that are yet to be discovered. Try out for the play, pick up a violin, make a blank canvas colorful. If not, come support your peers. The arts are not just that requirement you must fill to graduate. The arts are what create our school's individual and extraordinary culture.